All right, Cowboy Nation, really appreciate everybody for tuning in. My name is Law Nation, L-A-W Nation. We will be listening in to the Jerry Jones interview with 105.3 The Fan. I love 105.3 The Fan. I do. They bring in a lot of good content, great stuff, great interviews. Most of the guys out there are flat out cool, but we're going to listen to the interview, and I'm going to spit the real. That's what it is. I got to call a spade a spade. Let's go with it. Sean and RJ on this morning episode.
His first reaction to last night's loss against Arizona, 38-10, heard right here on your home of the Cowboys, 105.3 The Fan. Good morning, Jerry. Thank you for joining us as always.
Well, thank you, and I feel like I just walked out of the stadium. This one got going on us pretty quick. I have not looked at the tape, of course, or visited with the staff, so we'll be talking about it as though we were still sitting there 2 or 3 hours after the game, but that's great.
What was your assessment of the game without looking at the tape yet?
Well, we just got outplayed. Sometimes when you have a game that you can point your finger at directly at the issues of field position, turnover, some of the just specific reasons why you didn't win the football game. It's easy to point to those. The facts are that we were just outplayed. And you can say that certain things that happened early in the game took some of the juice out of us. You can say that we were dealing with a new quarterback. We were dealing without Dak. You can talk about the Zeke fumbles. You can talk about all those things. But the real world is that there are numbers of things out there that we can address. And when you play football games and you play above the way we played last night, you'll have a chance to win the football game. So we just were simply outplayed.
Jerry, how do you decipher whether you have poor coaching or whether you guys maybe haven't given enough talent to the coaches when we keep seeing the same type of performance every week? How do you divide those or evaluate that?
You don't have to do that, not at this juncture. Those are the kinds of things you do when you've got a chance to address them and give.
Let me pause it right quick, Cowboy Nation. He is the general manager. The general manager is supposed to watch film. The general manager is supposed to watch everything. The general manager is supposed to hold the coaches hostage, basically. He's supposed to pump and put the pressure on the coaches to make things happen. The general manager then in return goes out and do all of the evaluations of the staff. They actually set the tone for every meeting. And when you don't have that general manager, to showcase and put out, hey, these are the stats. These are the things that we are doing poor at. These are the things that we need to improve at. When you have that avoidance, then everything is lackadaisy. From the owner is lackadaisy because, yes, he can be optimistic, and that's okay. The owner needs to be that way. But the general manager needs to be like fire and brimstone, and that needs to echo down to the other staff. And that way, the coaching, the assistant coach, and even all the way down to the skill coaches, what have you, they are looking at it like, hey, the general manager means business. Regardless of how long this been, whether it's been a short season, long season, COVID or not. Somebody need to have checks and balances. We can't continue to be like, oh, okay, this is just a COVID, or okay, we have injuries throughout the team. Newsflash, everybody is injured. Everybody is hurt. I digress.
Either are decisions, whether it be what you're going to do as a coaching staff or what you're going to do regarding a decision on a player. That's not where we are at this particular time.
How come you're not?
Movements you can have regarding either or on players, but it's not worthy of discussion here, candidly. You go and take what you've got and you basically drill down on it, and you take every aspect of it, starting with the player. Zeke said it best, I think, last night. You take each play, or maybe it was Dalton, but you take each play, you get better each play, you win that play, you get the next time you win that series, you go right back down to the basics, and every person has to look inside themselves and look for a way to play better than we played last night.
Jerry Jones with us every Tuesday right here on 105.3 The Fan. What is your assessment of Mike McCarthy's coaching then so far throughout this year?
Well, I know that the good thing is that I know what he's experienced. He won a Super Bowl going up through the wild card side. So you know how to adjust, overcome things when you have that kind of accomplishment on your record. What we don't have to worry about is he capable of coaching a team to the ultimate, and he very much is. He's outstanding, to say the least, with his experience. He has great, and I mean great, football fundamental basics, and with that you build on that. Those aren't the areas that you are concerned about.
Football basics? Basics? 12 men on the field, that's football basics? Oh, you going to blame that? On the fact that he got fundamental football skills?
Really not concerned about him today, analyzing and knowing, given a chance to address it, what to do with the problems. We look to ball security. No one in the world can
Coach
you imagine feels worse than Zeke feels. And but you look at areas, you look at nuances of ball security, tight and high. There's an old adage about you hold the ball tight and you hold it high.
That's middle school.
Chest up against the end of the ball, up against your chest. And Zeke is an explosive to be trite. He just, everything he does is just high energy and high impact, and he does it because of his style of running, and he's the ball, as it would happen after all these years in his career, the ball's getting away from him there. He'll address that, I'll tell you. He has, the good news is he has the physical ability, he has the internal desire to hold the ball tight and high.
What this got to do with coaching, though? When will he learn to, hey, you can't put the ball on the ground. You're getting paid $90 million. You know what this sounds like? This sounds like the salesman Jerry Wayne Jones saying, hey, the moon is made of cheese. Now, if you so happen to get there and find out that it's not, that's your fault. You should know that. And on top of that, Cowboy Nation, the general manager, hey, newsflash, you should be saying to the coach, how come this guy is still having a fumbling issue? That's what the general manager's supposed to, I guess, lament to the coaching staff. Why is this guy still putting the ball on the ground? We paying this man $90 million. And you know why he don't do that? Because this is Jerry Wayne Jones. Let me pull up this right quick. That's what he's doing. Putting lipstick on a pig, basically. He is putting this thing out there saying, hey, it's not that bad. That pig is not ugly. Give it a good kiss. I digress.
Jerry, do you still feel that Mike Nolan is the right defensive coach for this job? And if you do, why is that?
Well, I think that it's what it. In general, my thoughts are. I like the way that we came out last night defensively, and I thought that we had a good plan for the skills of Murray and what the Cardinals presented us. And I'll be very candid. These aren't excuses, but we're sitting here talking about them early. His defense has had a very difficult time with field positions where we've gotten the ball early. And then I don't care what the skill level of the team is, when they get up on you, they're going to tee off on you. And so we're talking about we let them get right in the middle of the Cardinal game and let them use their quarterback in his best light. And that always, when you're against a team that's just cutting and shooting, and which we let them get to the point where they could, then we had our hands full. I'm okay with Mike Nolan.
How in the world?
Jerry Jones joined us here at 105 through the Fan. A recurring theme, has been these early slow starts, getting down early. We move on from Jason, bring in McCarthy.
Hold on. How in the world he says that he's okay with Mike Nolan? How? If not, Mike Nolan is about to be the worst defensive coordinator in Cowboys history. Nevertheless, could be the worst in NFL history. They're not giving up plays like this since the 40s and the 50s. Cowboys never had defense like this. He's still putting lipstick on a pig. How in the world he can utter that out of his mouth that he's okay with Mike Nolan? Now, I do know that the naysayers would say, hey, it's a situation where you got to look at this thing and count the injuries. Sounds like excuses for me, because he said that he liked his guys. When we had the optimum opportunity to go out there and get some players. You see what's going on, Cowboy Nation. By him being the general manager, there's no pressure. Because if it was any other general manager, they would have had to go out there and say, you know what? My ASS is on the line. So in order for me to CYA, I'm going to have to go pick up this guy to go play. And then I'm going to have to enforce the coaches to say, hey, it's up to them to elevate. That is what good general managers are doing. Think about this. Let's just move out from the Rams of the NFL. Let's say you're the general manager of Walmart or general manager of Dollar General Store or whatever it may be. You can't continue to have certain stores that have low numbers. The strength report is all messed up. You can't have the profit loss statement being everywhere. People not putting in the time and the hours, and everything in that particular store is to shambles. And you say, well, it's not me, it's the managers that I employ. No, it does not work that way, Cowboy Nation. Because that general manager will have to get in, dare I say, either come down there to those stores that's performing low and sit there and work the store himself. But that's why the general managers hire good managers, so that the reports can be right. Let me know. That's business 101. Let me know if I'm lying. For those who manage something or anything, let me know. Because right now, we're not getting that from the Jerry Wayne Jones administrations. It's the same song and dance. All they did from 2019 to 2020 right now is rearrange the furniture on the deck of the Titanic. It's still going down. That's all they did. There's no accountability is what I'm saying, Cowboy Nation. And we can see, let me get this pig out the way. Get out the way, pig. But there's no accountability because everybody got this lackadaisy, laissez-faire type of mentality that, hey, it's okay. It's sunshines and rainbow. That water that you're feeling down your back, no, that's just rain. It's just yellow rain. And you guys can fill in what the rest of it is. It's just yellow rain today.
Supposed to have a coaching advantage. Do you feel like we have a coaching advantage over the other team in these games?
Not when you mud it in the waters.
I don't feel like that we're a team that 2-4, and especially the way that we've started. I don't think that we're enjoying any advantage. We're putting ourselves at a disadvantage. And I do recognize that when you put yourself in the hole in the NFL like that, then you're playing catch up and you're going uphill. And you're going uphill in a lot of areas. You're going uphill in the nature of the game. I liked what McCarthy said last night, that that adversity, especially early, we did not overcome adversity. Well, one of the things about this game and that we're not doing is we're having that adversity early and we're not overcoming it.
Oh,
we're
where
not
did that
doing
come
that.
from?
We don't have our head down. As you well know, we had adversity early on before we lost Dak. And we've got to stop that. We can't play and win any games and create that kind of edge for a team, giving us that much adversity and giving them that kind of encouragement early in ball games. That's a death sentence in the NFL.
Jerry, early on in the season, we kept saying, they're disappointing us right now. They're underachieving. Have you still felt that way, or have you shifted to, you know what, maybe we're just not a very good team?
Well, I know you asked earlier about the personnel and about providing the personnel. And, again, everybody is reluctant to point to your personnel because you know the way we're going to play the majority of this season is with the personnel that we have. It's not negative. That's not a negative statement. It's a challenge because we are dramatically different personnel-wise than we were and what we had anticipated having. And I don't need to go down through the list, but it's a big one. Other teams in the NFL have really had dramatic personnel changes, and it has impacted their record dramatically.
Let me tell you this again. As the general manager, I'm going to use the analogy again, and this is just actual facts right here. When you are the general manager of any store, you have multiple stores that you have to operate in. The thing is, with those stores that you have to operate out of, it's up to you to make sure that you embody or trust the managers to make sure that they go out there and hire the staff. And when the staff is not performing to optimum level, the general manager comes in and he makes sure that he rearrange everything so that they can. That's the reality of it. So when we start talking about personnel, at the end of the day, the manager might hire somebody, but they got to go through clearance with the general manager. They would know, okay, in this particular environment, I know for sure that this person, based off of their resume, based off the interview that I assessed with them, that they are capable of getting the job done. Now, if something happened to said employee, the manager then directs that and correct it with either corrective actions, with either awards or disciplinary situations, depending on the climate of the situation. And then what that manager does is that manager goes back and report to the general manager and say, hey, these are the things that was going on, and this is why my numbers are there. We need to have a sit down to get rid of this said person, or we need to improve. But the ultimate finger will be pointed to the general manager if this thing continue to happen, because what happened here is that the person that's above the general manager will still put pressure. The owner will put pressure on the general manager, and the general manager says, hey, to the manager, everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. I'm paying you the money to get things good, so I should not have to come down here to make things or correct things and put out fires and these sorts of things. By us having that avoidance as a general manager, we are crumbling. Yes, we know that there's general managers all throughout the NFL, and they haven't have a great job here and there. You know, some people can say, well, this general manager only had 4 years. This general manager only had 5 years. But never a general manager operates with this type of construct for 30 years or for 25 years. We never see this type of, my goodness. Let me just play this interview.
But that's our game. That's what we do. availability is right there with ability when it comes to personnel. And so the next question is, okay, but what do? You adjust, and you play with the personnel you've got. You put your defensive plans in and adjust offensive plans in and adjust accordingly. What I do feel good about with this entire group is our ability. We do have the ability and we have the talent to make adjustments and play football with the personnel that we have. We just haven't done it. We will not have success until we take the personnel that we've got today and put it out there, not giving ourselves a big hole when we start the game to dig out of.
Jerry Jones joins us here at 105 through the Fan. The way the offense played under Andy versus how they played under Dak, does a game like this make you miss Dak more than you already did? I know you missed him a lot last night.
Well, I wanted you missed Dak. Every I don't want to be trite, but every time we've lost our starting quarterback since I've been in the NFL, we've missed him. Now that's trite, to say the least, and but we haven't always had a game like we had last night. But yes, we missed Dak. On the other hand, we can get where we can get the most out of our team, and it could be enough with Andy Dalton. We didn't last night, and he contributed to the turnovers early. We had a play that could have been a turnover right off the bat that would have really been significant. But we can get there with Andy. He's really we're very fortunate to have him, having lost Dak. So if you ask me, do I have confidence in Andy Dalton being able to come in here and us have winning football on the Cowboys? I do at that position. He's going to be challenged. I wish we had better shape protection-wise there with him. I wish we had and can get going with a better running game and give him a better field position and better points in the game to work from. But all of that is there. When Dak had those things, we did well. Dak was able to take us when we didn't have those things and keep us in the ball game and get a couple of wins. And so that was a pretty glaring difference out there last night, but it doesn't have to stay that way.
So, Jerry, correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like you think that you guys are kind of costing yourselves with early deficits, the crazy amount of turnovers, and that is a bigger problem than coaching or lack of talent or sloppiness and any of that. It's things that you guys can fix versus not having the tools to fix it. Am I right on that?
I think we don't have the talent that we had planned on. But I think you have.
Who is in control of the talent? We like our guys. It's the common thread from the Joneses administration. I told people, man, Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones are not football guys. They're not. Now, they're brilliant marketers. Bunch of bookies. They win regardless whether or not we win, lose, or draw. They winning because they get paid, they get merch. Look, everything behind me, they got coins from that, right? Regardless, put it like this. He's not sounding like we're sounding as fans, right? And I know fans is short for fanatics, but he's not sounding upset. This is a walk in the park. Remember, when we lose, we go to our houses, but when they lose, first the Joneses, they got a helipad. They can fly on that helicopter around the world, get on a $280 million yacht. Man, can go to their big old extraordinary $1 billion playpens as it relates to their houses or the workout facility. They not feeling what we feeling. Or order Johnny Walker Blue. You look up the prices of Johnny Walker Blue, by the way. They drink that stuff like it's water over there. And we got to hear this from all over the media. Cowboys trash. Cowboys suck. People from other fan bases saying the Cowboys this and the Cowboys that. And all over the media. Cowboys this, Cowboys that. People calling me all from my other phones and stuff like that. Hey, how about them Cowboys, Law? We the ones fall on the sword supporting this team. And Jerry, he goes back and he just does this right here. Where that pig at? He just put lipstick on a pig and say, oh, it's okay.
Have the talent that if you don't have those setbacks
we don't need
early,
this guy. We don't need that
you'll
guy.
win ball games. We have that kind of talent. We're going to have to meld this offensive line. That's a unit, as you know. And that was quite a setback to lose Martin last night in light of the other players that we've lost. I'm not deliberately wanting to make excuses, but we can play better than we played last night by simply not having early turnovers.
Jerry, does it feel like it's a pretty nice gift right now to be in this NFC East and still able to contend?
Well, I'm not in the feel-good mood, frankly, that we've been got manna from heaven, being in the East. These things have a way of evening out as we go along, and certainly the NFC East is having its challenges right now. All of that is a way of not wanting to talk about other teams. When you're not playing any better than we are, it's hard for me to basically look to the end game, which is to win the East, and get excited about the fact that we're better than anybody. We may be slow, but we're ahead of you syndrome. We've got to get better to have the kind of season that makes sense for us.
Jerry, last question for you. What do you say to the fan, and you hear the station, you know the topics. What do you say to the fan who says, ask Jerry Jones why we should continue to invest our energy, our emotion, our time, our money in this product if we're going to get these types of results? What do you say to that Cowboy fan this morning?
Well, I feel bad that we didn't play better than we played last night, and that we're sitting here at 2-4. We can compete at a higher level than we've been competing because we're shooting our own self in the foot. That doesn't mean, though, that week in, week out here in one of the most unique experiences I've ever had in sport, and that's competing during the times that we're in. Because of the times we're in, I don't want to basically say this is what we've got, because by the time we're through with this thing, a combination of backdrop of where we are with our season, with the NFL, and a combination of the fact that we do have, in my mind, enthusiastic. We've got a fresh staff, and we've got football players out there that were recognized 2, 3, 4 weeks ago as some of the best you can get. What I would do is try to list as much as I can the 4 or 5 things that are positive, and then I'd list the ones that.
Jerry, thank you as always for joining us. We appreciate it after a tough night, and have a great day and week.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Jerry Jones, brought to you by North Texas Ford Dealers. Ford, built.
Appreciate all of the people from 105.3 The Fan. My thing is, it's just lipstick on a pig. He circumvented that whole entire question there. He just ruminated it, and dodged it, man. He can play one hell of a dodgeball situation. And that's what Jerry do. He piss down your back and say, don't worry about it. That's just rain, And a lot of people will accept it because of the fact that, hey, we gullible with the Cowboys. That's just the bottom line. We love the Cowboys. We had to get the pig out the way. But that's all what they've been doing, putting lipstick on a pig and say, hey, it's cute, kiss it, forcing everybody to kiss it. And it's just one of those things where we can see the issue that all of they're doing is just moving the furniture around on the Titanic and it's still going down. Right now, yes, we are number one in our division. Yes, that's cool. And I love the fact that he used the manna falling out of the sky or the heavens, dare I say, to the people. But even those people, they understood that, hey, they was blessed. Their clothes never withered. They didn't struggle like this. Even when the sun, the Bible contextualized it, that even when the sun was out, the cloud recovered them and give them comfort. See, they didn't go through the situation that we're going through right now. There's no cloud for us, right? Our clothes are not are tethering away. Our clothes are not just standing firm right now. Boy, if I was a preacher, boy, y'all wouldn't like me right now, huh? The reality of it is that Jerry Wayne Jones is running his organization franchise and everything about it to the ground because we have not done anything since Jimmy Johnson left. Those 3 Super Bowls were Jimmy Johnson Super Bowls. Yes, you can say that, yes, Switzer got a Super Bowl, all of it, but it was with Jimmy Johnson's staff. With his knowledge. Think about this. Even when he took, 2-3 years off and went to coach the Miami Dolphins, guess how many playoff games he won? Oh, my goodness. He won 2 of them. Never had a losing season. We're just, one playoff game ahead of him. But we're still trying to circumvent it. And we still put my pig up, putting the lipstick on the pig and saying, oh, it's cute. Let's go buy the pearl necklace, Oh, my goodness. We're going to have to change this organization all the way out, and it's not going to change. That's the craziest thing. Because the moment Stephen Jones, erect himself as the next apparel, leader of this team, it's going to be the same situation. Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones are in the same boat. I said this earlier. I think the smartest Jones out of all of them is Charlotte Jones and Jerry Jr. Those are the smartest ones because they out of the picture. If all, sugar turns to what with them or what have you, it should be Charlotte Jones. I would rather for her to be the general manager. I would rather for her to be the person that's in charge. Maybe, just maybe, she can pull the Jenny Buzz type of situation, right? This team, I'm telling you, we're still in the same boat. There's no coaching power or presence that we can see. There's no coaching philosophy that we can look back and say, yeah. Because what happened here is the general manager will still put his toe in the water and say, no, I like this guy. But no, I like this guy. It's crazy, Cowboy Nation. Well, let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you guys feel of the whole scenario. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute. Jerry Wayne Jones.